So I've done this video quite a few times, and now I finally got a new mic. The other one was kind of crapping out on me, and it finally gave up. And now I got a new one. It's the same one, but it's, newer. I had the other one for maybe 3 years. It's a good length of time for it to last. So for those of you who don't know, let me introduce myself. I am CJ Extreme 98 on YouTube. I am CJ Lionheart from CCW. Professional wrestler, just starting out. Last year was my debut year, and I had a pretty fun year. Could have been better, but I had fun. So with me being a pro wrestler, don't think that my opinion is just like the gospel or anything like that. I don't wrestle for WWE. I don't work with WWE. I don't know what they got going on backstage. I'm just another guy, just like y'all, giving my opinion. I just have maybe a little bit more credentials than most, perhaps, but even then, I don't work there, right? Let's just all relax. You're gonna like what happened. You're not gonna like what happened. You're gonna disagree with me. You're gonna agree with me. You're not gonna watch the video. It is what it is. Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. Charlotte winning the Royal Rumble. I think this is okay. My initial reaction was shock. I didn't want Charlotte to win, obviously. But once I saw she got announced, I was like, oh, she's winning. And it wasn't really a surprise. Jey Uso, definitely a surprise. As a matter of fact, at no point in that match until like the very end did I think he was going to win. When it was him and Cena, I was like, Jey's going to win. Because Cena wouldn't benefit from eliminating Jey. It would just make him look like a heel. If Logan would have eliminated Jey, and then you would have had Logan Paul and Cena as the final two, I would think Cena is for sure winning. It would have been cool, but with Cena and Jey as the last two, I figured it was probably going to be Jey. That was the only point in the match where I thought Jey was going to win. And I thought Punk and Cena, those two are my candidates to win the Men's Royal Rumble. For the Women's Royal Rumble, I actually had no clue who I thought should win. I was like, Io could be really cool, but Io doesn't have to win the Rumble, but it would have been dope. But we got Charlotte winning the 2-time, and it's whatever. And she's probably going to win the belt soon, which is whatever. Because here's what I think people are missing out on with this whole thing. Yes, they won the Royal Rumble, and people don't want them to win, and whatever the case may be, people do, people don't. They're over, they're not over, whatever. They won, and something's going to fall up from this. There's always more to it, right? I think people are looking at the surface a little too much here, okay? Jey wins the Royal Rumble. He's probably going to face Gunther. He's probably going to beat Gunther. But what happens after that? You think Jey's going to hold the title for a year? Fuck no. He's not going to. I highly doubt he's going to hold the title for long. He might have a couple defenses under his belt. He might, beat Gunther's like, oh, damn. And it's like, was it a fluke? And he beats another guy he probably shouldn't beat. I think on that, like, second or third defense, he's probably facing Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's going to turn heel, and he's going to beat Jey for the championship. That's my prediction for you. Could be wrong. He could even get cashed in on by Dominic Mysterio for all we know. Like Damian Priest won the world title, right? And he had a good year. But there were other people who could have won the belt aside from him, right? Like Finn Balor, I thought should have beat Seth beforehand. I thought Drew should have beat Seth, and he did beat Seth. But, Damian coming in and cashing out, it added to the story of CM Punk and Drew. And also gave Damian, a big world title run, which was cool, And he defended against Jey. And I thought that match was cool, me personally. Could have been better. I thought it was cool, though. I feel like we just got to consider our options here. And that's why I'm here to give you some options. What could they do following this? Number one, let's talk about Jey winning the Rumble. He is going to face Gunther probably. I think you can add to that. I think you can do Jey not telling us who he's going to face for a hot minute. Who is Jey going to face the Rumble? Even though we all kind of know who it is. Wait till after the Chamber. Have Cena win the Chamber. Hear me out. Have Cena win the Chamber. He doesn't challenge Cody. He challenges Gunther. Jey challenges Gunther. Triple threat. So now you got a guy chasing his 17th title. You got a guy chasing his first world title. And then you got Gunther, whose entire reign pretty much has been overshadowed by everyone else that's been happening. And he's got a chance here to prove himself by beating two of the most over guys ever, right? And not that Jey is more over than Cena. I'm not saying, I'm going to keep reiterating this. I'm not saying that Jey is like the best ever or anything like that. Because people keep attacking other people because they think Jey is over. Okay, he obviously is. Just calm the fuck down. Like, what is wrong with people? And, comparing them to other people, it's whatever. It's contextual. I'm comparing him to Cena in the sense that they're both over. And they're overshadowing Gunther, who isn't as over as the other two. And he's the world champion. So now he has a chance to prove, it doesn't matter if the fans cheer for them. I'm the best wrestler, and that's why I should be the champion. You know what I mean? And there you go. You got a great story there. You got to see who's going to win that one, right? And people are probably going to want Cena to win. Some people are probably going to want Jey to win. But you give people that opportunity to see that, right? What could happen? And Jey could still win. Cena could still win. Gunther could still win. It's a lot going on there, and I think it's interesting. It's interesting because you wouldn't expect it, Just like you didn't expect Jey to win the Royal Rumble. As for Charlotte, I think you can go and have her face either Rhea or Tiffany, right? And I think the better route to go is her facing Tiffany. We've seen trilogies in WrestleMania. Well, we've seen trilogies that are one-sided, and we've seen like two-parters that didn't get a third batch, Like, I'll give you some examples. We had Undertaker and Triple H face each other 3 times at Mania. The first time, it was like whatever, and Undertaker won. At the second time, it was brutal, because it's like Triple H is definitely winning this match, and Undertaker got him and beat him. And, Undertaker never looked like he was that close to losing before. And then they had the Hell in a Cell match, Undertaker beat him again. Beat him 3 times, but the last 2 were pretty compelling. We had Rock and Austin, of course. And the whole story with that is that Rock had beaten Austin, or Austin had beaten Rock twice in a row at WrestleMania. Not twice in a row, like back-to-back. But like 15, 17, he beat The Rock, right? So The Rock's whole thing is, well, Stone Cold's on his way out, and he didn't say that, but we all kind of knew Austin was probably about to retire. And I don't really remember the whole story with WrestleMania 19. I don't remember if everyone knew he was going to retire, or if that was just like a dirt sheets thing. I'm not sure. But the whole story there was that The Rock finally beats Austin, right? We never got a part 3 to Cena and The Rock. Never got a part 3 to Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, for obvious reasons. There's a lot of different scenarios where people face each other. I think with this one, though, Charlotte should definitely just face Tiffany. It's a future star, and, someone else who is a current star established. And if Tiffany loses, hear me out, because people are going to be upset if Tiffany loses to Charlotte. Of course Charlotte wins. It's not about winning the title every time. Sometimes it's about what happens after winning the championship. The story that follows, right? It's a plot device for pro wrestling, right? So let's have, to an extent, not always. Sometimes it can't be. It's part of the business. You can have Charlotte beat Tiffany, and now Tiffany has to find a different way to win the championship, because the first time she won the belt, she cashed in the Money in the Bank. She earned the Money in the Bank, don't get me wrong, but she cashed in on a champion. She attacked from behind. She had this whole setup, an elaborate scheme to get the win and become champion. And I think that now she has to really earn it, and it's a cool story. And then when she finally actually wins the championship, like clean like a babyface, which she probably will win it back from Charlotte, it'll be a cool moment for everyone to see, right? And it's a good story to tell. I think maybe people disagree. And then you got the dynamic of Charlotte like to target the leg, and Tiffany being typically more of a high flyer. It's an easy wrestling story to tell there. So now you just add layers to it, right? Now you're probably saying, okay, you talked about one world title. What about Cody Rhodes? What about Rhea Ripley? What are they going to do? Rhea Ripley and Io are probably face each other at Mania based on what happened on Raw, right? And that should happen. Now, I know Io isn't in the chamber right now, but that doesn't mean she can win and get into the chamber in a different way, in like a last chance type thing, right? Like have 5 people, have 5 qualifying matches, and then the 5 people who lost those qualifying matches facing like a 5-way elimination match to see who gets in the chamber. But if they win, they have to go in at number 1. And I think that would be a sick fucking concept. And I know that would be cool. Have Io win that. She faces Rhea Ripley. Really cool dream match. We all know that would be good. I don't even think I have to really argue for that one. As for Cody, he's got to face CM Punk. That's the match. Not CM Punk versus Roman. Not CM Punk versus Roman and Seth. And I know that's rumored, but let's not confuse, rumors, and then that means it's true. Let's not do that, all right? Wait till we have evidence, proof, confirmation. Let's not just assume that everything is just what it is because someone said something somewhere at one point, right? I think you can have Punk and Cody. It's a great story to tell, going back and forth. Have Punk even cheat to beat Cody at Mania. I think that'd be pretty sick. I think that works perfectly. And then you can have Roman and Seth face each other at Mania because they can't go after the championship because they're in each other's way. You know, Seth just put Roman on the shelf. It's right there for you. Have them go at it. Have Seth turn heel. Roman is a face. And then you have that dynamic and that match that they were supposed to have at Mania forever ago. I'm pretty sure they were supposed to face each other at WrestleMania 32, but Seth got injured. That's my assumption. I don't know that. But I think that was what was going to happen. And they ended up doing Triple H and Roman. And it was a solid matchup, but it just like, you know, crowd just wasn't really into it. Or a lot of people weren't really into it just because, you know, they were tired of seeing Roman. Just like people don't want Jey to win because they didn't think it was good enough. They didn't think Roman was good enough at the time. Not that Jey is as good as Roman or will be as good as Roman. They just, you know, every time in WrestleMania season, every time, from my memory, people don't like who's going after who at the championship, right? When it comes to championship. People thought LA Knight should have won the Rumble. I think that was last year, but then it was Cody. People thought it was Punk should have won too, but then it was Cody who won twice in a row. People thought Cody should have beat Roman at WrestleMania. People thought it shouldn't have been Cody faced Roman at WrestleMania. It should have been somebody else, like Sami Zayn or something. People thought it should have been Daniel Bryan instead of Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 31. It should have been Daniel Bryan instead of Batista winning the Rumble at WrestleMania 30. And, you know, they ended up changing it, you know, to fit the needs of the people. Some people thought, you know, when Cody was giving his shot to The Rock, they thought that was dumb. And I don't know if they were actually ever going to do that. I feel like that might have just been like a plot device. I don't think they were ever actually going to do that because it's just really, it would just been really, really stupid. Like pretty brain dead on them to actually do that. Maybe they were. I don't know. Then you got, I think they even made a documentary talking about how they like worked everybody or whatever. Anyways, there's been a lot of scenarios like that, right? People thought Booker T should have beat Triple H. I thought he should have beat Triple H at WrestleMania 19. Didn't happen. And I think we gotta go with the flow here. We're here now. What's the best we can do? Like I've been saying, right? So Punk and Cody would be cool. Seth and Roman. And then we got Sami and Kevin, which is probably happening for sure. I think you can have Sami and Kevin face each other. You can have Sami win even because Kevin's going crazy. He's angry at his friend for not helping him and all that stuff. And then maybe Sami at some point starts to see things the way that Seth does or that Kevin does. And that's when he turns on, you know, Jey and becomes world champion the way that Kevin was saying you got to do it. You know what I mean? That's something that you could do. You could definitely tell that story going into Mania and after Mania. I think that's like a cool thing to do. And then maybe Sami can have that little introspection where he's like, damn, I won the belt. Was it worth it? I finally won the title, but was it worth it? Intercontinental Championship. And now we're getting to the part of the video where no one probably made it to. But anyways, when it comes to the IC Championships, I think Ivy Nile versus Lyra would be cool. You can have Ivy Nile win that or lose and then have her win it eventually after Mania. I'm basically going to give American Made all the belts here. Have the Creeds face the New Day, the War Raiders, and Alpha Academy in a Fatal 4-Way Elimination Tag match. Have the Creeds win that, become tag champions. I think that'd be really dope. And also for the other IC title, you can have Sheamus finally beat. Have Sheamus finally become Intercontinental Champion. Whether it be a ladder match or whatever you want to do for the IC title. Braun Breaker's going to be in that match, of course. Sheamus finally wins the belt. And Sheamus loses in his first title defense the very next night on Raw to Chad Gable. And now you have three championships in the American Made group, and you got like a new group being built up right there on the main roster. And I think that could be cool. You could easily have Chad Gable stop going for the Intercontinental Championship, have him help Braun Breaker get his title back, and now Braun Breaker is with American Made, and now Chad wants to go after the world title, and he could be like one of Jay's first title defenses. That's another thing you can do. When it comes to the United States Championships, here's what I think should happen. I don't know about the timeline, I could be wrong on this, but I was thinking Trick Williams faces Obafemi at Stand and Deliver, he loses, right? Then send Trick to face Shinsuke for the United States Championship in some sort of open challenge type beat. When he beats Shinsuke for the title, huge cool moment. Right when he wins, Carmelo Hayes comes out and attacks him. Carmelo Hayes is pissed because he hasn't really been able to get out of the blocks and win a championship, unlike, you know, Braun Breaker. and he wants, and Grayson Waller, and, other call-ups who have had their huge moments. Carmelo has yet to really have that. Ilya's injured, so he's not counting Ilya. Jenny McDonough's been tag champ. You know what I mean? All the people he got called up with, he's the one who's just been lacking, really. And so with him being the one that's lacking, now you have an opportunity to have him feud with Trick over the United States Championship. You put the United States title in a prominent role. You can have that cool thing. Have Chelsea Green defeat Mia Yim at WrestleMania for the belt, right? Or, whoever she faces for the belt at WrestleMania. Have Piper Niven turn on Chelsea Green, and then Chelsea, who gets cheered all the time, just have her be a face. And then you have Piper be a heel by turning on her and winning the belts right there. For the other set of tag belts, because I mentioned the Creeds winning the world titles, the WWE Tag Team Championships, you can have DIY, Motor City Machine Guns, and the Street Profits in a triple threat TLC ladder match. And whoever wins that can win it, but just do that. I mean, I'm guessing with the Street Profits doing that big turn again, being heel again, why not have them win that matchup? That would be cool. And they can feud with whoever afterwards. Maybe even have Alpha Academy go over to SmackDown and they can feud with them. Or, they can just feud with Motor City. You know what I mean? There's some options there for that. Leaving that one open. For the Women's Tag Team Championships, I think what you got to do, you got to have Bianca and Naomi versus Liv and Raquel versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus, anyone who's really healthy, to be honest with you, if you want to get them in there. You could do like another Fatal 4-Way tag, but it didn't have to be elimination. It can just be first fall to a finish, and you're probably like, well, that's a clusterfuck. What's the point of this? Win, lose, or draw, Jade Cargill comes out to confront Bianca and Naomi, and you can have either Naomi and Bianca be on the same page and they're both heels, or Naomi attacks Bianca because they lost the tag match, and Jade makes a save, and now we know who attacked Jade Cargill, and that would be cool, and they'll have a nice little singles feud following WrestleMania. Or you can do that whole women's tag on night 1, have Jade and Naomi face each other on night 2, which would be pretty fucking sick, I think, right to open the show. I think that'd be cool. But this is just me spewing out ideas, stuff that I think would be cool. And people don't really care about what I think would be cool. No one really watches my whole videos when it comes to me being positive. Usually they want to just be negative for the most part. I have friends who like my videos, but for the most part, I usually typically get negative responses when I try to say my ideas, which is quite annoying. But it's like, well, you put your ideas out there, but it's like, okay, do you have to be a dick though? It's kind of annoying. But anyways. Obviously, I'm thinking getting every championship at WrestleMania, because, what's the point of even adding more titles if you're not really going to feature them? And you have an opportunity to have a bunch of different title matches, right? So go for it while you have the chance to. I don't know if, any of these things are going to happen, but I feel like a few of these could definitely happen. I think Cody and Punk is the move, right? I think for sure they're probably going to do Drew versus Damian Priest. I think even with that, without maybe having other members of the Judgment Day and other members of the Wyatt Six in that women's match, we could even have the Judgment Day versus the Wyatt Six, and the loser has to break up, and that can break up the Judgment Day right there. Raquel and Liv can stay together by winning the tag belts. Dominic can go do a different thing. Jamie Dunne and Finn can stick together. Carlito, I don't know what he's going to do, but, they can all go do something different. Roman and Seth is more than likely happening. Kevin and Sammy is more than likely happening. The women's matches I was thinking about doing, I'm pretty sure Rhea and Io Sky have to face each other. That has to happen, right? And then you also have the Charlotte versus Tiffany. I think that just makes sense. I don't think Charlotte's facing Julia. I think Julia is probably just going to end up facing Roxanne in a rematch, or she faces Stephanie Vaquer if Stephanie somehow doesn't win the Women's North American Championship. Aside from that, what else can I really talk about? I'm trying to think. What other matches? Jey and Gunther is probably going to just be one-on-one. But I don't think you can build to Cena's final WrestleMania and not have him in anything. And the best bet you have, put him in a match where he can win his 17th title to see if he can do it. And there's a perfect way to do that with this triple threat. if Jay's the one who pins Cena or if Gunther's the one who pins. I mean, Jay's probably going to pin Gunther if he wins. Gunther's probably going to beat Cena to get a lot of heat if he wins. Jay can also, be like, damn, I went to WrestleMania and I didn't even get pinned to lose, the match or whatever. And it's just like, that could be his thing for a minute. But yeah, man, I feel like this is a good idea. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, though. I know maybe I came off as like a know-it-all, or maybe I annoyed you guys with my tone or something like that. Just know that it's all just me having fun. And hopefully, if you have your opinion, you'll share it in the comment below. I'm not going to hate you for giving your opinion, even though people don't typically do that. But hopefully you actually gave me a chance and tried to hear me out and see what I had to say. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.